But let's say this IDEO is the one who has been negotiating, and there has been one Dutch person as an observer, but not more than that. Because we are waiting until this process is finished, and then they will come to us. They have already asked us if we want to be the host of this court, and we have said yes. It might be in The Hague, but it might also be in another town in Netherlands. We don't know yet. But I mean, would be most logical in The Hague, but we don't know. It's finalized from the other side, and once they've come to us, it's also our parliament still has to agree with it. First, of course, the government has to agree with what the outcome, and then the parliament has to agree. But still, so I also think this court will come also at the earliest at the end of the year, maybe the beginning of next year. We don't know. That they have, otherwise they would not have involved us. So we are involved because we have said that. Yeah, it has to be somewhere, and then we have said, okay, if nobody else wants it, we can do it, because we consider, especially The Hague, as the judicial capital of the world. So we have already many courts, and one more or one less. No, it matters, of course, but still, for that reason, we said, okay, we can understand the logic why it should be in the Netherlands, let's say. Yes, as far as your country is concerned, you have also a big potential. That's why it's also good that the new government spends now more on agriculture development, because not only is agriculture has a big potential, but it also is very good to create jobs, because it's a very easy way to create jobs, especially in the countryside, and that is very important in the country. As far as what Netherlands can contribute, we have, of course, a lot of expertise. We are willing to help. We have also said that to the government through various projects. But we have a very interesting project, we call it the PUM, which is a retired managers project. In that case, when companies, smaller companies, want to have assistance on how to develop better, they can get an expert from Netherlands for free, and that expert will come and will tell them what to do. Of course, the migration has caused a big damage to Kosovo, not only in the public relations sphere, because it makes, of course, a bad impression when so many people leave the country, and when people start wondering what kind of country is this, why are people leaving? So that is, of course, already very bad. But it's also bad that people leave in the first place, because people are needed here. Especially when they are good people, of course, I don't know who left, but let's say people who had really good education and possibilities, is of course a pity when they leave, because people are needed here more than in Europe, because we have, in a sense, we have more than enough people anyway. Of course, it's not that we say we don't want anybody else, but still, it's if you want to do something for your country, you have to stay here and do something here, because here the work is to be done. Because the country has a big potential, a lot of work to be done, still to be done, and that's why it's very negative. But on the other hand, what has been said by your new Minister for European integration, he made a very good overview of all the tasks that still has to be done. So a lot of issues are with your government to be done, especially also in the rule of law field. There were a lot of conditions that still has to be met. I know that Mr. Stalakou had said that it will be done, I think, at the end of the summer. Let's see if that is really the case, because it still has to be then looked into by the Commission, because it's the responsibility of the Commission. European Commission, they will look into this whole issue to see how far it has advanced. And in that case, if they are satisfied, they will report both to the European Parliament and to the Council. And then, of course, the Council, in the end, the European Parliament and the Council have to agree. But I don't think that will happen before the end of the year. So, but as I said, for political reasons, this outflow of people made a very negative impression. So, of course, in parliaments, where people are looking what will my voters say, it has become more difficult. So the people who left has made it more difficult for the people who stayed. I don't think it's realistic. At the best, next year, at the best, if. Of course, I think it's very bad for a party, especially a party that is part of the government, to boycott the parliament and boycott the government. I think it's bad especially for the Serbian population, because then they have no representation, which is negative, because if you are there, at least you can influence. If you're not there, you cannot influence. So I think it's good when they come back. And I hope that they will come back in a good spirit of cooperation and to work for the best of the country, and especially also for the Serbian population. And I think the best way to work for the Serbian population is to work in a positive spirit and to stress the good things and not to stress the bad things. Well, first of all, of course, I cannot go into the contents of the protest because I'm, of course, here as an observer. But of course, an opposition, in the first place, they should, of course, act within the parliament to put their grievances. But of course, they also have the right to protest if it's a legal protest, and if it's not, and they don't use any violence. There is, of course, nothing wrong with protest. I don't want to go into the details. I told you it's not only this subject. There are many subjects that they're going to protest against. It is, of course, yeah. No, they're right. I mean, they're right. Yeah? Not that they are right, but it's their right. Yes. I think that the most important thing at the moment for this country is for the government to work for the economy, to get the economy going. That is related to this migration business. It is related to this potential extremism business, because people are lured by extremism because they don't see any possibilities, because they give, I mean, the people, the extremists, they give them a reason to be there, they pay them. So again, but if you have a proper job, probably will not go to this kind of things. But again, also people will not leave so easily when you see a future here. So again, another reason to work, to put emphasis on the economy. So that is, I think, is the most important thing. But of course, related to that is also to put the emphasis on the rule of law, because if you don't have a proper rule of law, your economy can also not function properly. So this is the main thing for this country at the moment. Improve the rule of law situation, and by that, by improving the rule of law situation, you can also improve the economy much more easily. You can attract investments more easily, especially also in the agricultural sphere. So it all goes together. So it's to work for the future of the country in a positive spirit. Think of the country, don't think of yourself in the first place. So put your country first, yourself second. That is what I would advise everybody. That is what you would do, especially the government.